Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to be solving inequalities this afternoon. It says things to remember when solving inequalities. The first thing that you need to remember is to get the variable by itself, you use the inverse or opposite operations. Keep it balanced. What you do to one side of the inequality, you must do to the other. When you multiply or divide both sides of an inequality with a negative number, you must flip or switch the inequality symbol to keep the inequality true. And always, always check your answers. So when you're graphing inequalities, if you have an open circle, that means it's not equal. So this would be for situations where you have a greater than symbol or a less than symbol. If you have a closed circle, this is for situations that are equal. So those would be the greater than or equal to symbol or the less than or equal to symbol. When you're drawing your arrows, less is left, great is right. So less than or equal to the left, greater than or equal to the right. So let's take a look at the first inequality that you see here. It says r divided by 3 is greater than or equal to 5. So it tells us to use the inverse or opposite operation in step 1. So the inverse of dividing by 3 is multiplying by 3. So we multiply both sides of the inequality by 3. That would be keep it balanced, step 2. So when you are looking at this, this is multiplying by 3 and dividing by 3. Well, 3 divided by 3 equals 1. So we're left with 1r is greater than or equal to 5 times 3, which is 15. When I go to graph it, I need to make sure that I have at least 3 points on my graph. So the number is 15. So I'm going to go with 14, 15, 16. Equal to, closed circle. Greater than goes to the right, so I draw an arrow to the right. Taking a look at the one on the right-hand side, the inequality. It is telling us to multiply by 7, so the inverse of multiplying by 7 is dividing by 7. 7 divided by 7 is 1, so we're left with 1y is less than, it's 3.5 divided by 7. I'm not sure exactly what that is, so I'm going to come over here and divide. Put in your decimal. 7 doesn't go into 3, but 7 goes into 35 5 times. Remainder 0. So my answer is 5/10. When I go to graph it, I make sure that I have 3 points, just like before. 0, 5/10, and let's do one whole. Not equal to, open circle. Shade left because it's less than, less left. And there I have 2 completely finished products. Let's take a look at a few more. Let's take a look at a situation where we're multiplying by a negative. So let's head on down to negative 6c is greater than or equal to 18. The inverse of multiplying by a negative is dividing by a negative. So divide by negative 6 on both sides of the inequality. They simplify to z. Negative 6 divided by negative 6 is 1z. Now the problem is I divided by a negative, and if you go back to step number 3, when you multiply or divide by a negative, an inequality, you must flip or switch the symbol to make the inequality true. So here we go again. I'm going to flip or switch from greater than or equal to less than or equal to. 18 divided by negative 6 is negative 3. So again, I need to graph it. So I need 3 points. Negative 4, negative 3, negative 2. Notice how I started with negative 4. The lesser number always goes on the left side. Okay, so equal to, closed circle. Less than goes to the left. All right, one more. and then we're going to move on to something else. Okay, r divided by negative 3 is greater than or equal to 5. The inverse of dividing by negative 3 is multiplying by negative 3. Step 2. Now I need to simplify this. Negative 3 divided by negative 3 makes 1, so I'm left with r. 5 times negative 3 is negative 15. Ooh, I multiplied by a negative. That would be step 3 up here. When you multiply or divide by a negative, you need to flip or switch the inequality. Greater than or equal to becomes less than or equal to. Graphing 3 points. Larger the negative, the less the negative is, the left side it goes. So negative 16, negative 15, negative 14. Equal to, closed circle, and less than, shades left. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's all for today. Have a great day.